name is Janice Burkowski from Joyful Heart Yoga. And if you're like this video, make sure at the end that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So we are going to work a little bit on legs, specifically the hip flexors, the quads, and the hamstrings. So we'll first start by coming to all fours and warming up the back a little bit with the cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, round through the back. Inhale, opening up through the chest. And exhale, rounding. Just warming up in the back and the chest, the spine. It might feel good to just look over one shoulder as you let that hip come towards that side. And then it might feel good to incorporate a little bit of everything, just little circles or big circles, about 2 or 3 in one direction, and then go in the opposite direction. And then coming back to neutral. And you see that I have blocks. If you don't have blocks, maybe books or even hand weights that you can use for some elevation, or your hands can come to the floor. But we're going to place our hands on the floor or blocks. We're going to step the left foot forward so that our hands are framing that front foot. We want the front knee over the ankle. So you decide the angle of your lunge, whether or not you're more at a 90-degree angle or if your hips are pressing forward. And depending when you're doing this, how warm you already are. And then try to keep length in your spine. So you're still lifting through your chest. Your front knee is stacked over the ankle as your hips are shifting forward. Breathing. Starting to open up the front of your right hip here. And then we'll add a little bit of movement. So as we exhale, we're going to start to shift the hips back. You can walk the blocks back, let the toes lift up. Then we can walk forward, lifting through the chest. So shifting back, lifting the toes. Shifting forward into that lunge, lifting the chest. One more time here. So coming forward, and then we'll hold it as we come back. Now you can stay sinking low, or maybe you lift the height, you lift your chest. So try both, see what feels best. There can be a softness to this leg, so again, we're not overstretching, but we're getting a nice opening. And then it might feel good to maybe tap the toe and lift the toe, get a little bit of a stretch there through the calf as well as the foot and ankle. And then start to shift yourself back into that lunge. Take a breath, and we'll step that foot back. You can feel free to put your hands on the floor, wiggle it out, maybe sit back in a child's pose before we switch sides. And then press back up to table and reset yourself. So hands on blocks. And now our right foot's going to step forward, lifting through the chest. It might feel different on one side versus the other. So taking some breaths, getting settled in your lunge. And then we add that movement. Let your hips shift back, walk your hands, lift your toes. Inhale, press it forward. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, pressing forward. Exhale, pressing back. One more time. And we'll hold it here in this hamstring stretch. So again, blocks can be low or at a higher setting, still lifting through the chest, sitting the hips back. And then begin maybe to tap the toes towards the floor and lift them. forward. Step that front foot back. Once again, hands on the floor, a little wiggle. Sit back in child's pose. And you might like to even repeat that again. Sometimes going through it 2 or 3 times really helps you to find some more mobility. And if you have any questions or comments, or you want to let me know what else you'd like to see, feel free to let me know either in the comments or send me an email. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.